Welcome to Mess of Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. It's been a while since I've reviewed this brewery. I'm kind of pumped because I'm in the mood for a bit of barrel-aged, hopeful, we'll talk about that, coffee goodness in the form of Toll. I can always call it Toll. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's Toll, a copy. I believe copy might be the coffee roaster here. Bourista. It's an Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels. I found this local. It's weird. We get a decent amount of Toll over here, but it's like drips and drabs of randomness. So you can always find them, but I haven't seen a barrel-aged stout for a while. At least one that was decently priced. This is right around $14, $15, $16. So I picked it up. It does have a bit of time on it. It's 2021 edition, so that's where your kind of coffee-esque kind of vibes about it can be a little bit different, but we're still going to dive into it and see what's what. We have words on here. They're very small, so I need to read them. It's an Imperial Stout aged in 21 months. Okay, I can get down with that. In bourbon barrels, matured on Typica, yellow honey roasted processed Costa Rican coffee beans, sourced and roasted by our good friends at Copy in Sweden, Koppi. All about the coffee beans. They're from La Mesa, Monte Copy Coffee, Santa Maria de Tarzo, Costa Rica. Altitudes, we're not going to get into all that kind of stuff. It's 2021 edition, 13.1%. And Toll's out of Denmark. So yeah, Toll. I've had some misses from them, but very much mostly hits and very big hits. So I'm really curious to see how this sucker not just goes down, but also ages. You're talking about 2021. Not sure when it was bottled, but we're now in 2024 now, so you do the math on that one. So we'll see where this goes. That be thick. It looks super dark, so not a big head on this. So you're talking about a barrel-aged beer, a couple of years old, adjuncts, coffee, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not expecting a huge amount, but it doesn't look like we get much of anything on this sucker. Dark as dark could be. Big, huge, dense vibes to it, but not much as far as a head. Give it a whirl, you get a little bit of a kind of tiny bit of head on this sucker, but for the most part, it looks like a big old, thick Imperial Stout. Let's see if we can get a nose. It smells like a big old thick and bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout. In equal parts too, the coffee's still there aromatically. If coffee's going to die in a lot of times in beer over time, it's usually in the taste, not necessarily aromatically. Especially, you have a big, huge roasted stout like this. That's going to help prop up those coffee vibes. So if coffee's going to die, if it's more in the taste than it is actually in the smell. So you get big doses of coffee, a big, rich Imperial Stout. Not sure where we're going to err there as far as bittering goes, but a big, huge, sticky, dark chocolate with a little bit of lactosey kind of vibes that probably coming from that, not saying there's lactose in there, but milk-like, kind of vanilla-like kind of vibes. That is most certainly coming from the barrel portion to show that spirit, and more specifically the barrel giving off those vanilla coconut kind of vibes. It shows all the pieces, but the most important part of it, it's showing pieces in equal value. It's not like one part's jumping out at the other, at least aromatically. So it really does smell like a really nice bourbon barrel aged coffee stout. Big, bold, rich. I'm a fan so far. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Okay. Man, this could be an amazing beer, but it just falls short. It really does. It's not a bad beer by any stretch of imagination, but I think the biggest criminal here is mouthfeel that is very much affected by a lack of carbonation. It's not a still beer, but it's about as still as you can get with a beer while still being good. It actually has decent viscosity to the beer itself, but since there is a very criminal lack of carbonation here, it doesn't come off like a full mouthfeel. It falls flat in the palate because there is no carbonation almost whatsoever. Once we get past that and we start to break it down, there's a really, 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 really cool beer in here. Like, really epically cool, because the coffee is still ultra vibrant and very rich. And, you're talking about like high-end coffee, boutique or artisanal coffee. It very much comes off like that. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a coffee connoisseur, but I drink crap coffee, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm cool I drink Folgers Black Silk. I know people are going to be being like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? A cream, a little bit of sweetener, I'm good to go. That's how I roll my coffee. I know y'all hate on that, but I will say this. Having worked in, for myself, or having worked in downtown foot walking areas of cities, I've always been a fan of coffee shops. You know what I mean? Actually going and patronizing them during work, going and grab a cup of coffee, all that kind of fun stuff. And really, really good coffee. Not that I know much about it, but when I have it, I know it, and I'm cool with drinking it straight. Like, it's the only time I'll ever drink stuff sans cream or sugar. Sometimes a little bit of cream, sometimes a little bit of sugar, but if someone shows up and it's just black, I can get down with that. Like, it has to be just the right kind of coffee, and that's the vibes I'm getting off of this, is that something that the coffee's coming off is a really tip-top, really just fantastical. Let's go there. Call it fantastical. Coffee inside of a really beautifully well done Imperial Stout blended with a barrel. Imperial Stout's nice. It's not huge bittering. There's a little bit of bittering there accentuated by the coffee. It's not Russian Imperial Stout level, but you definitely get this nice kind of roast on it. Little kind of levels of chocolate to it that can marry beautifully the way the coffee kind of shows in this beer. And the spirit in the barrel itself show up really well. There's a nice kind of confectionery / vanilla thing going on. Nothing huge, not a big coconut thing, but there's a really nice barrel char that, again, marries really well with the roasted malts and the actual coffee itself. And I think it's all really epically well done. It's just really the carbonation that lets this beer down. It's so not there that it just, again, comes almost off as a still beer, which I can get down with still beer, but at this ABV level and what it's trying to pull off, I really do think you need a decent carbonation level, and that's where this is lacking. So, somehow force carbonate this, get out your physics or some kind of forced carbonation, or even blend this with an over-carbonated beer. I think you end up with a really cool kind of mixture. But it's just kind of missing the mark a little bit. A little bit of this, not even disjointed, it's just missing a key component that would make this beer and drive this beer over the top and make it actually probably like world-class, awesome fantasticalness. Again, with that word. But it just misses it. Even with all that said, it's one of the better barrel-aged stouts, coffee stouts I've had as late. Yes, it's not towards the top. It's not Mount Rushmore status, but I'm still going to drink this whole bottle. I'm going to blend this with some kind of a stout or a barrel-aged stout that has a decent amount of carbonation, see what comes of this beer. But I dig this. And I'm curious to see if this is just maybe an aberration. Is this my 2021 bottle? Is it just my bottle? Is it an issue across the board? Or other years, if they've done other years of this beer, is it an issue? I don't know. That's where the conversation comes in with y'all. Let's finish up my little spiel. Valued availability, like I said, $15, give or take, off the shelf, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, coffee stouts, and your carbonation doesn't matter that much to you, which I'm sure it does, so that's weird. Toll, have you been to the brewery? Have you had the beers? Have you did this particular beer, and what vintage have you had, and was the carbonation really the criminal complaint you had with this beer? Yeah, all that stuff. Let's have that conversation down there. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Euro beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.